All right, let's review these word problems that are involving adding and subtracting hundredths. So number 1 said Eddie's cat jumped 0.43 meters. Eddie's dog jumped 0.54 meters. How long were his animals' jumps combined? Well, this is an adding question. It's asking us to take one jump and combine it with the other jump and see what it is in total. So we have 0.43 and 0.54. I'm just going to knock off the 3 and the 4 that are in the hundredths place and just say, well, what's 4/10 plus 5/10? 4/10 plus 5/10 is 9/10. So I think it's going to be about 0.9 meters. That's my guess. Now, to find the exact answer, I'm going to take 0.43. I'm going to add 0.54. And I can see my estimate's probably pretty close. It's going to be a bit above it because 3 plus 4 in the hundredths place is 7. 4 plus 5 in the tenths place is 9. 0 plus 0 is 0. So the animal jumps were 0.97 meters combined. Number 2 says Sandy timed how long she could hold a handstand. Her first attempt was 0.94 seconds. Her second attempt was 0.63 seconds. How much longer was her first handstand? Well, we're looking for difference here. And whenever we're looking for difference, that's a subtraction question. So now I have 0.94 minus 0.63. I'm just going to leave the hundredths off and say, well, 9 minus 6 is 3. So approximately 0.3 seconds. To find the exact answer, I stack 0.94 and I subtract 0.63. And I would get 4 minus 3 is 1, 9 minus 6 is 3, and 0 minus 0 is 0. Make sure I put my decimal in. So the difference between the handstands was 0.31 seconds. Or really, the first handstand was 0.31 seconds longer than the second. We'll just leave it at that. The first handstand was 0.31 seconds longer. Going to the last 3 questions. It says Holly's time in the 50-meter run was 7.84 seconds. Nellie's time was 9.32 seconds. How much faster was Holly's time? Well, this is a subtraction question again. Really, we're looking for difference. And I'm just going to ignore the stuff that's after the decimals. I'm just going to say, well, what's 9 minus 7? 9 minus 7 is 2. It's going to be a less than 2, though, if I look at 84 and 32. So I'm going to say about 1.5 seconds, roughly, about 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds. So if I do my exact answer now, I'm going to look at 9.32, subtract 7.84, and I'm going to have to do some borrowing here. 2 minus 4 doesn't work without borrowing if I'm using this strategy. So I'm going to take 1 from the tenths and move it over to the hundredths. 12 minus 4 is 8. 2 minus 8, I'm going to have to borrow again. So I'm going to take 1 from the ones place, move it over to the tenths place. So now I have 12 tenths. 12 tenths minus 8 tenths is 4 tenths. And then 8 minus 7 is 1. 1.48 seconds. Holly was 1.48 seconds faster. Sometimes I get to the end here of my writing and the screen stops recognizing it. At the store, a baseball glove costs $73.87 and a baseball bat costs $94.75. How much would it cost to buy the glove and the bat? So we've got that and, this and that, that's an adding question. So I'm looking here, I've got the glove at $73.87, the bat at $94.75. I'm just gonna call this 94, I'm just gonna call that 100 because it's pretty close to 100. And this 73, I'm just gonna call it 75 because that's pretty close to that too. So I'm gonna say the answer is approximately $175. It's going to be a little less than that, but that's a pretty good estimate to start with. So now if I put the exact answer, I'm going to say 73.87. I'm going to add 94.75. So once again, I think my answer is going to be around 175. I think it's actually going to be a little less than that. Let's find the exact. 7 plus 5 is 12, so I'm going to do 2 here and carry the 1. 1 and 8 is 9, 9 and 7 is 16. Make sure I put my decimal in and carry the 1. 1 and 3 is 4, and 4 and 4 is 8. And then 7 plus 9, that's 16, right? So 168.62. I said about 175. That's a pretty good guess. I knew it was going to be a little less than 175. So now the cost of the glove and bat is $168.62. Last question says Gregory had $85.50. He bought a new hat for $39.95. How much change did he get back? So I'm going to call this $85.50. I'm just going to call it 85. And this $39.95 is really close to 40. So I'm going to say 85 minus 40. That's 45. So my answer is going to be about 45. So now to find the exact answer, I have 85.50. And I'm going to subtract 39.95. The 0 minus 5 doesn't work without borrowing, so I'm going to make this a 4 and this a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. The 4 minus 9, I'm going to have to borrow again, so I'm going to make this 1's place 4. I'm going to make the 10's place 14. 14 minus 9 is 5. The 4 minus 9 doesn't work without borrowing, so I'm going to make it 7, and I'm going to make that 1's place 14. 14 minus 9, 5 again, and then 7 minus 3 is 4. So $45.55. Pretty close with my estimate. So Gregory got $45.55 of change back. All right, guys. Hopefully that helped you with those word problems. They're a little tricky at times, but use the skills you have and read closely. All right, thanks a lot, guys.